Intraosseous anesthesia delivers effective and predictable anesthesia in most cases which are otherwise difficult to anesthetize. The area and the tooth are first carefully examined clinically and radiographically. Disinfection of the mucosa is important to minimize the risk for secondary infection at the site of bone penetration. Before the use of X-tip, the mucosa and the perios are anesthetized using normal infiltration anesthesia. X-tip is then opened and set in the slow speed contra angle, and the protective cap is removed. The perforation is then done with the X-tip burr in an apical angle at the site chosen from the preoperative radiograph, between the roots of the two molars. The inner part of the tip is removed, while keeping the cylinder in place with pliers, for example. A control radiograph verifies the correct position of the X-tip. A short needle is then introduced through the cylinder, and the local anesthetic solution is applied into the bone. Anesthesia usually follows relatively fast after the injection, with 1 to 2 teeth anesthetized on both sides of the site of injection.
Okay, that's the X-tip for you. Very effective. Paano pag motion, ha? So it's like painting the walls of the cavity to extend it, okay? Safely. Okay? So with a brushing motion, okay, you extend your preparation, right? Okay? Kasi if you have a straight file here, you reduce cyclic fatigue, okay, ng instrument. Okay? We will discuss what cyclic fatigue is later. Okay? So it reduces the incidence of file fracture. 20% of a millimeter. Okay? Pag 0.50, half of a millimeter yon. Gets? Ha? Gets? Okay? Pag taper naman, ito yung gaano lumalaki ang file from the tip to the hub. Kasi ang ating root is not straight, it's conical. So the file has to be conical in shape also. We know what conical means, right? It's tiny and then tumataba siya. Okay? So, maraming iba't ibang klaseng taper. Merong 0.02 taper, O2 taper, sometimes tinatawag itong 2% taper, or 0.02. Merong also 4% or 0.04. Meron ding 6% o 0.06. Anong ibig sabihin yan? Ito yung pagtaba ng file habang umiikli yung kanyang haba. So, for example, this is 0.30 ang size niya, tapos 21 mm ang length. So, kung ito 21 dito, okay, at 20, magdadagdag siya ng 2 mm. Hindi ito ha. So 1 mm from the tip to here, magdadagdag ang size ng 0.02 kasi 2% siya or 0.02 taper. At 2 mm, magdadagdag siya ulit ng 2. So 4 na. 0.34. Do you understand? Lamig na naman. Alright? Gets nyo? So, pag sinabi na, O4 taper, 0.30, 1 mm short will be 0.34, 2 mm short will be 0.38. Magdadagdag siya ng 0.04. Okay? Ang endo is about precision. So, you have to somehow understand the sizes of your instrument. So, pag ito, let's say for example, 0.40, let's say, meaning, you will flare or increase the diameter of the coronal part first before you increase the diameter of the apical part of the tooth. So, two faces siya. Understand? Ngayon, bakit kailangan mong lakihan muna ang coronal part ng tooth? Because when you are working on that apical part, ayaw mo na may sinasakal yung file sa coronal. Kasi it increases the strain on the instrument. Okay? It makes it fatigues the instrument pag mas marami siyang surfaces na tinatouch. Okay? Ngayon, when you do the coronal facing, before you move to the apical shaping, kailangan mo muna na gumamit ng apex locator to determine or to finalize your working length. Kasi if you do not finalize your working length, you don't know your foramen, the exact location, pwede siyang mahaba, which you will destroy the periodontal ligament area, or too short, meaning that you will not be able to instrument the canal up to the foramen. Okay? So, kailangan mag-apex locator. So, after the coronal flaring, you use the apex locator, you make a radiograph, and look kung tama ang length ng file. Kung file is 0.5 millimeter to 1 millimeter short of the apex of the tooth, okay ka. Yeah, if the apex locator is saying that it is the working length. Alright? Do not perform apical shaping without confirming the radiographic working length with apex locator. Yeah, you cannot do apical shaping. Now, the first step is, of course, for you to, before you instrument, to measure the radiographic working length para alam mo kung ano yung 2/3. Kasi yung coronal flaring only happens on the coronal 2/3. How would you know what the coronal 2/3 is if you don't have an idea of the working length of your tooth? So you have to measure the radiographic working length first and then write it down. Okay? And then you have to make sure that you have a reference point. Reference point is where your stopper is going to be in intimate contacts with the tooth. Ngayon, pag medyo irregular yung ngipin na ganito na mahirap malaman kung saan ba ito mag-stop, here ba, dito ba, yeah, you better what? Grind the tooth down kasi magka-crown din naman ito eh. I-flatten mo na para hindi ka nanghuhula. It's always there. Ngayon, kapag pag molar naman sa tip of the tip ng cusp. Okay, the cusp tip. Okay? So be sure you understand that. What you want to do is your reference point to be stable, visible, and reliable. Ibig sabihin, every time na nilalagay niyo yung file doon, when you use the apex locator, it's saying that that is the apex. Okay? Because, yes, Doc.
Sa practice mo, Doc, like for example, apat yung kanal. Anong ginagawa mo para hindi mo makalimutan yung length, yung for each kanal? Sinusulat mo talaga.
Yes. Okay. That is what the dental assistant does. May papel at saka ball pen, and then later I'm going to type it in the treatment notes. Okay? Para next time maalala mo, kasi pag hindi, ano na nga ba to? Simula ka na naman sa beginning. You will waste another 30-40 minutes of your working time. Okay? So isusulat mo. Okay? Kasi you want the file to be in intimate contact. So yung length mo talagang dyan, alam na alam mo. Okay? Now, how do you do the coronal flaring? Alright? So, first of all, you negotiate the canal with a number 10 file. Pag masyadong malaki, number 15. You want it to be only 2/3 of the working length, ha? Hindi siya sobra. Paano mo malalaman ang 2/3 ng working length? Through the radiographic estimation. Pre-op radiograph. And then, irrigate before and after release of file. Keep the canal wet. Now, this is the manual method of flaring the coronal part of the crown. Ngayon, pwede rin siyang rotary. I prefer the rotary. Okay? Kasi mas mabilis. Niyamak. Okay? Ngayon, sa rotary naman, okay, most of the rotary file system come with their own orifice opener. Pero before you use the orifice opener, scout the tooth first with a size 10 hand file to make sure na nasa kanal kayo at walang bara. Kasi pag hindi kayo sigurado na nasa kanal kayo, pwede nyo ma-perforate ang ngipin or pwedeng ang file ay ma-lock. Okay? Kasi merong bara pala. Yeah, you have to scout. You have to use your tactile sensation. Okay? And say, okay, this is okay, right. So if your working length is 21, 2/3 is what? 15. Yeah? So you only work up to 15 or less millimeter. Okay? Di pala. 8, 16, 14. Alright, 14. Okay? Make sure that you estimate that first. So you could use also the rotary, but it's still the same, right? You scout first with a size 10. Okay, 2/3 of the working length. And then now you use your rotary orifice opener. Nung nakita niyo, number 17, 008. So malaking masyadong taper, 08 taper ito. At saka 17 ang size. Okay, so and then you irrigate after that. Once na umikot yung file, rotary file sa 2/3, tapos ng instrumentation ninyo, huwag pabalik-balik.
Okay.
Right. Pag umikot na yun, nakakat na siya. There's no reason for it to stay longer there. Parang nagbisita kayo sa inyong mother-in-law, ayun tumagal sa bahay, pagpasok niyo, labas kayo agad. Right? You don't want to stay longer. Alright? And so you already flared the coronal part of the tooth. Right? So, nag-flare nyo na yan. Ngayon, usually yung orifice opener na file, kasama yan sa every kit ng Fanta na gagamitin niyo tomorrow. Lahat ng kit, V-taper, AFF1, F1, meron siyang kasamang orifice opener. Sinasabi ng Fanta sa inyo subliminally na, hoy, mag-flare ka muna before you use these files because you want to reduce the fatigue on the file. Okay? So, once na matapos ninyo ang inyong coronal flaring, now the next is what? Apical shaping. Ngayon, ang first step ng apical shaping is you scout with a 10 file to the apex. Okay? Pero, hindi nyo muna ito gagawin until you did a apex locator reading. Okay? Ngayon, kailangan yung apex locator, ipasok nyo muna para malaman niyo kung radiographic working length niyo pareho ng apex locator reading ninyo. Kasi pwede silang pareho, pwedeng iba. Pwede mas mahaba o mas maikli ang apex locator reading. So you cannot determine your final working length until you have used your apex locator and you made a radiograph to confirm your working length. Tayo yung natatandaan ito ang initial working length, radiographic estimation nyo lang. Ang final working length that you could do apical preparation is you have used your apex locator and made a radiograph to confirm na hindi labas ang file sa kanal. Okay? Alright. So, now, you're on the next step. Nalagay mo yung number 10. Okay, walang impediment. Now, you have to use your apex locator, right? Okay? So, how do you use the apex locator? This uses sounds, right? Pagpasok nyo, magbibigay niya ng sound. Kaya gusto, yan. Okay, pag yan, nasa foramen ka na, nasa dulo-dulo, pag nagpula, labas ka na. Okay? Okay? Ang gusto mong gawin dyan, once you insert that is, alam mo, nagpula na, hihilahin mo, palabas. Pag hinila mo palabas, kailangan mag-green siya. Pag tinulak mo na naman, mapupula siya. Kasi, ibig sabihin, the apex locator is reflecting your movement. So, reliable. Ngayon, saan ka mag-i-stop? Usually, may ang iba't ibang mga file system, mga Apex Locator, meron siyang parang linya na malaki. Okay? Ulitin natin ito. Okay? What others would do is, okay, depende sa file sa system nito eh, they will go to the end of the green. Yeah, end of the green, pabalik silang ganyan. Okay? Ibig sabihin, nasa periodontal ligament dyan, and then it's going to, they're going to reduce 0.5 millimeter of the working length. Yeah? Yan, dyan. Pero hindi yung parang alarm na mabilis. Okay? Gusto ko doon mismo kung saan nagsasabi na nasa foramen. That's what I like to do. Pero sa inyo, you could reduce 0.5 millimeter if you want. Okay? Alright? Usually, lower, as shorter. Ngayon, after that, ito, yung example ko, you take a radiograph to confirm your working length. This is your final working length. Usually, mas maikli siya sa radiographic apex. This is one of my cases. And then you obturate at that length also. Yes, Bob?
Is there a difference wet or dry canal sa reading ng apex?
Wala. You do not instrument dry. Always wet. Okay? Always wet. Ngayon, based on studies and personal experience, the wetness of the canal has nothing to do with the response of the apex locator. Saan siya nagkakaproblema? Pag dumikit ang apex locator sa metal, like amalgam filling. Alright? So, yun ang problema. Pero pag basa ang file, it doesn't matter. Bakang canal, sorry. Yeah? I tried sa medyo dry, walang problema naman, because ang principle ng apex locator is impedance, yung resistance ng paligid sa kanya. So, pag ang resistance ng apex, yung periodontal ligament is different from the tooth itself. So, pag lumabas, alam na nyo na nasa labas siya. Yeah, impedance. Ngayon, pag merong amalgam, dumikit siya, yung circuit ang na problema. So, it will read apex kahit hindi wala pa sa apex. Okay? Wala namang problema. Okay? Na, malinaw ba?
Yes.
Malinaw? Okay. Alright. So, the final working length must be confirmed by both the radiographic image and the apex locator. Each canal should have a final working length that must be written down. Isusulat ninyo. Okay? Ngayon, itong ginagawa ko. For example, tooth number 1-6, apat yan, diba? You have mesobakal, MB2, distobakal, palatal. Isusulat ko muna yung estimated working length from pre-op radiograph. Kasi dyan ko ibabase yung 2/3 ng working length for my coronal flaring. Okay? Got it? Ngayon, sa susunod, next is, pag may file na ang apex locator, dyan ko isusulat yung reading. Kasi pwedeng pareho, pwedeng magkaiba. Yung radiographic working length mo na walang apex locator versus may apex locator ka nang ginamit. And then, pag wala kang ginawang adjustments, right? 20, 19, 20 for example, yan ang pagbabasihan mo. Okay? Okay. Pero pag nakita mo na labas ka, yeah, pwede rin magkaroon ng ganong klase. Nakalabas, mahirap yung lalo na pag merong mga resorption na hindi mo nakikita, uneven. Okay? So, pag lumabas, pag nakita mo na 1 mm labas yung file, bawasan mo ng 1, yan yung final working length mo. Okay? Pag may adjustment. At saka you also write your reference point. Okay? Questions? Okay naman, nasusundan. Dito naubos ang boses ko usually sa mga estudyante. Alam niyo ba? Yung ganitong part na to kasi. Kasi talagang kailangan na maalala. Okay? Alright. Pagkatapos mong ma-establish yung final working length mo, you have to establish a glide path. Ano ba itong glide path na ito? glide, slide ka, path. Walang bara. Okay? What is a glide path? Ano ba itong glide path na to? Ganyan lang narinig itong glide path? Ganyan lang nila narinig? Okay? Pabihira itong lecture unless endodontist ka. Right? Pabihira talaga ito, naiintindihan ng unless nag-specialty training. Glide path is a smooth, patent passage from the coronal orifice to the radiographic terminus, sa terminus ng ngipin, as determined by a radiograph, or sa terminus that is determined by your apex locator. Tuloy-tuloy siya, ha? Wala siyang bara, walang sikip, alright? Anong ginagawa nito? Okay? What does it do? It explores and opens the canal. It paves the way for the next instrumentation. Okay? Pressed higher by pulpitis. So, kukunin ko ng buo yung pulp. Pag merong pulp. Usually, nasasama na yun. Yeah? Okay? Remember, the hypochlorite is, the pH is so high and it dissolves the soft tissue. So, yun na yun. Good, thank you for noticing that. Because talagang in-skip ko na yun. Titignan ko, may nagtatanong kaya? May nagtanong. Meron tayo, future endodontist dito. Ha?
Hindi nga nag-endo.
Kaya nga mag-endo na kayo. Di ba nakakakonsensya yun? Pag meron kang anterior, alam mo kaya-kaya mo straight, tapos i-refer mo.
Yes.
Tapos hindi pag i-refer, yes. Minsan hindi babalik yung pasyente. Or minsan nakita mo, ba't ganito itunod ka lang dito? Right? You can do better. Okay? So, mag-try tayo. Kahit nasabi ko nga, anterior lang muna, straight, and then, ang problema kasi, na-realize ko, is, a lot of dentists are intimidated by root canal treatment. Kasi unang-una, hindi nila alam kung paano yung pagkakasunod-sunod ng file. Ano bang unahin ko? Anong gagawin ko next? Ganon. Ang maganda lang dito sa file system ng Fanta, pag kumuha ka ng pack na ganito, nakasunod-sunod na yon, di ba, Doc? Meron na, susundan mo na lang at paano naka-arrange yung file. You don't need to develop your instrumentation technique. Kaya nung una kong ginamit niya, sabi ko, okay kaya to? But it's okay actually. Right? Basta tomorrow, makikita niyo sa demo. Ngayon, laging always use an irrigant, ha? Laging gagamit ng irrigant once you are in the canal. Or once you have already accessed the tooth. Okay? So ito yung parang you're trying to scout to the apex, alright, before you do your other instrumentation. You can also play the glide path kasi using hand files. Although I don't recommend that because the hand files are stainless steel. It's very stiff. Matigas ang stainless steel. Alright? Now, itong ginagamit ko, 2.5%. Sa US, you could buy 8%. Okay? And I want you to use a 30 gauge needle. Okay? The studies show, your micro CT study shows that if you use a size 30 needle and you finish with a size 30 file, you could actually put the needle 1 millimeter short of your working length. Okay? Alright? Mag-iingat lang kayo kasi ayaw ninyo na magkaroon ng hypochlorite accident na ganito. We will discuss that later. Pag tight yung file sa kanal, okay, ang mangyayari, mag-shoot up yung hypochlorite sa apex and it's going to follow the blood vessel flow with the blood and it will burn the patient's face. Burn. Yeah. Ba't tuwing marinig yung kanta ni Tina Arena na burned? Ang tawag ko nga dito, Doc, ay, ano ba to? What's this? Core nightmare. Hindi core memory. Core nightmare. Okay? Meron akong nakita niyan once sa estudyante, hypochlorite accident. Mabuti maliit lang. Okay? Pero pag may malaki, I haven't seen. Ayoko makakita.
What's the treatment?
Mamaya, we are going to have one lecture about that.
So, Doc, if 1 millimeter short ka, pag irrigate mo, hindi yan
No.
Pasok doon.
No.
Sure.
As long as it's not binding. Nagagalaw-galaw mo yung needle. Yes, it's not binding. Walang resistance. Saka walang friction, wala kang nararamdaman. Kuya, lalamig na naman ito. Okay? Anyway, always use eye protection. This is an actual case of an endodontist na na-splatter ng hypochlorite ang mata na bulag. Don't use without. Pag natuluan lalo ang pasyente, natuluan sa mata, death sentence ng mata. Gumamit lang. Minsan inadvertently meron kasi gaya nyo doc, nakasalamin kayo. So talaga nakasuot na kayo ng salamin. Right? Paano yung mga 2020? Ako, nearsighted ako. So hindi ako nagsasalamin talaga. Farsight, hindi ko makita yung sign ng mga kailangan magsalamin. Pero pag malapit, kita ko yan, malinaw. So, ito is report. Nagkaroon ng fibrosis, yung mata, hindi na nabulag na. Up to the apex, using a watch winding motion that is called scouting. And then, it should go to length with very minimal tightness and very smoothly. Pag 10. Paano pag masikip ang 10? You go down to 8. Right? You go down to 8. And then, do not force the file to advance if it feels tight or blocked. Diyan kayo magkaka-fracture. Alright? And use the apex locator to confirm your working length. Alright? Ngayon, alright, you could establish your glide path using rotary and using hand files like this one. Okay? Says 10. Okay. Irrigate. Natural pag ditong na irrigate, capitular, irrigate, it's very natural class. O yan, piling ko naman estudyante ko kayo. Very natural na yung needle hindi umabot sa apex muna at this point kasi hindi pa kayo nag-apical talaga ng file. And then, number 15, you could also use this. Although I discourage using stainless steel file that's more than 10 kasi masyadong malaki for the apex. Alright, if this becomes stiff already. Now you could use a rotary also. It's called the CPAth rotary. We have it here. You will practice this tomorrow. Okay. So how do you use this? Yes, go. Yes. Wala na. Hindi na tayo gumagamit ng hydrogen peroxide. Very good question, Doc. Kasi yung hydrogen peroxide creates air bubbles. And there was several clinical studies that it could cause air embolism. So, hindi na ginagamit. Hypochlorite lang talaga ngayon and EDTA. Wala nang distilled. I'm not using distilled water. Okay? I-explain natin mamaya yan. Okay? So, ito yung CPAth. So, yan, orifice opener na yan, ha? Ipik na coronal flare na yan. So, malalaki na, tingnan nyo, coronal part. So, now, ginagawa niya, right, scouting with a K-file. Kinakati natin to the apex. Huwag ganyan lalabas talaga. Pinapakita lang niya yan. Na may smooth exit. And then, ito namang CPAth, it's quite flexible, right? Okay, so you put the CPAth 1 and then CPAth 2 and then CPAth 3. Tatlo sila to working length. Ito in-skip na niya. Pero ang kulang dito is irrigate, recapitulate, irrigate. Ha? Hindi niya pinakita. Okay? Hindi nagbo-bonjour yung bonjour, lalabas na ganun. Okay? Right? Anong hase, yung lumalabas ng kanal. Okay? So, ang kulang dito sa video is, every time you move to a new, to the second file, you need to irrigate, recapitulate, irrigate. Question? So this is what you create, a glide path. Okay? So, how do you know that the glide path is achieved when a size 10 or 15 hand file goes to working length smoothly? Okay? So, hanggang working length. Kung makita niyo sa picture na to, yeah, the file goes all the way to the working length already. Okay? Now, after you have done, okay, your coronal flaring, final working length determination with 10 file, and glide path preparation, apical shaping, glide path preparation, the next is your rotary. Actually, pag may glide path na kayo, you could use any rotary instrumentation that you choose to use. Okay? Because you already have prepared the canal. Okay? With the glide path. Ngayon, ito yung mga example ng mga files na pwede nyo gamitin. Right? Like what we have here. Okay? You have this coronal flaring glide path. Okay? Ito sa mga straightforward cases. Ibig sabihin, ang canal is not blocked. Ngayon, bakit ito CPath file isa lang? Okay? Ang tuturo ko dito sa inyo is the complete instrumentation technique. Kayo nang bahala na mag-adjust depending on the anatomy. Right? You have to use your clinical decision and critical thinking. Yan ang hindi ko may tuturo sa inyo. Kayo mag-decide yan. Depende sa kanal. Okay? So, pag straightforward na ganyan, right, 10K file, CPath file 1902, okay, this is the CPath 2 ito. CPath 1 pa din pala, because, kita ninyo here, okay, ang kulay ay purple. So, usually, okay, nagmamatch siya. Nasaan na ba yung, dati na, ano ko to I don't understand why hindi ko na siya ma-control itong ano. Okay. So, for straightforward cases, you use this technique. Okay? Now, for wide and easy cases, wala ka nang yung coronal flaring dyan. Ano pang ang coronal flaring nyo? Wala rin kayo masyadong yung apical preparation. Laki na. So, gagamitin nyo na lang ang inyong critical thinking. Right? Kailangan ka pa bang gamitin to? Ito, sinasabi lang sa inyo dito, you use a 1303, right? Yung CPath na pinakamaliit, and then, you're done, basically. Okay? Ready to obturate, ready to use your apical, whatever rotary system that you need to use. Okay? Now, paano yung mineralized canals? Ito yung mga canals na merong completely obliterated, right? Na nasasaraduhan ng tertiary dentin. Like this one, for example. Lagi nyo tatandaan na ang direction ng mineralization is from the crown to the apex. Bakit from the crown to the apex? Kasi nandito yung irritant, caries, restoration, okay, crown. So, pag may nakikita kayong chamber, ibig sabihin, open all the way down yan sa canal, sa apex. Okay? Because the direction is coronal to apical. Right? Gaya nito. Okay? Pag nakita mo na to, hindi anxiety cases, ito last ng pulso case na to. Masyadong, wala kang makita. Yan, there's really no chamber. So, sabi mo sa pasyente, you're not a good root canal candidate, ingatan mo yung mga ngipin mo. Okay? Alright. So, in order to address mineralized canals, you need to know the anatomy, of course. Magnification is important. And tools and skills, of course. Now, kagaya nga nito, pag access ninyo, huwag kayong umasa na may drop-in feeling kayo. Kasi nga, mineralized. Ngayon, Of course, your first challenge is to remove the coronal mineralization kasi hindi nyo ma-access yung orifice pag may mineralization yung crown. Okay? Now, I use this, they are called Man's Discovery Burr. Ang haba-haba niya. So, if you're trying to remove it, the mineralization, you could really see where the file tip is going, where the burr cutting tip is going, because it's very long. Also, this is not aggressive, so the tip is only short, is only sanding the mineralized structure. Hindi siya nagka-cut. So, medyo may control kayo. Okay? Hindi wild. Kaya nga, it's very good for removing calcification, right? Sobrang haba niya, it could go all the way to the orifice or more. So, this is how it's used. Nakikita mo, okay? The instrument's actually cutting like a sanding motion. So, it's removing the calcification really pretty efficiently, and you could see. Ngayon, pag nagka-cut kayo ng mineralization, nagkagaya nito, you're removing it, ang itsura ng tertiary dentin ay medyo translucent siya ng konti. Right? Medyo little bit grayish or a little bit yellowish compared to the primary secondary dentin. Pag umabot na kayo sa milky white, lumayo na kayo. Pag milky white na yun, malapit ka na ma-perforate. Magiging reddish na yun. After a while, you're already cutting the secondary and primary dentin. Pag milky white. So, iwasan nyo yun. Yeah? So, ito yung isang use ng yung discovery burr. Okay? Gusto nyo iwasan ito, ha? Perforation. Kasi kita nyo dito, sa X-ray pa lang, wala talagang chamber. Okay? Now, you could use ultrasonic tips also instead of the Man's Discovery burr, yung mahabang burr. The problem with ultrasonic tips is it could generate so much heat and roast the tissues. Right? Okay? So, pag dikit-tanggal, just in removing the mineralization, tapos hindi nyo nakikita dito, pero yung tip ng ultrasonic is spraying water. Kaya medyo basa siyang tingnan, okay? For coolant. So, you're trying to remove the mineralization. Now, if you're not able to control the ultrasonic tip, sige lang ng sige, right? Walang coolant, you could actually burn that tissue. Like here, the periodontal tissue. So, denuded na siya. And so, this bone has to be removed now kasi hindi siya tutubuan ng gingiva. Right? Now, may malaking defect na to. Paano na ito aayusin? Right? Paano ito lalagyan? Mayroong masolusyon niya ang mga kaibigan ko, orthodontist. Bakit? Paano? Pag ginala mo itong ngipin na ito, susunod ang bone. Right? Orthodontics. Okay? But, it will take a lot of time. If you move this, right? Pag bone, dito mag-formation ng bone eh. Okay? Could be. But this will be a very difficult scenario. Now, you can also use EDTA. This is a chelating agent. But, make sure to use it sparingly. Okay? Hindi lagi-lagi. Yeah? And it should be in the canal for a short period of time, and you have to dry it immediately because it's a chelating agent. It will destroy dentin. Now, after you have removed the coronal mineralization, now you have to remove the radicular one. Ngayon, pag nakuha mo na yung mineralization sa coronal part, now your next step is to find the orifice. If you found the orifice, paano mo tatanggalin ngayon yung mineralization sa orifice? The solution is the C-files. C-files ay para siyang K-file, kaya lang mas stiff. Okay? Kasi you will really see this when you have a C-file at saka tinusok mo yung K-file, sorry. Pag tinusok mo yung K-file, hindi siya kakagat sa dentin. Magbibend siya because it's not stiff sa tip. Ito namang C-files because it's stiff at the tip and ito naman yung technique. You try to open the orifice after you have found the orifices, right? Tapos na nakuha mo na kita mo na yung orifice. Now you have to use the C-files, okay, repeatedly as many times as needed until you reach the apex. And then, when you reach the apex, you will do again the apex locator and determine your final working length before you could use your C-path and then your other preferred rotary instrumentation. Okay? Alright? May tanong? Okay? What you want to achieve is, nakalimutan ko, be careful, alright? Kasi minsan, akala mo, nasa gitna ka pa rin, pero yun pala, the file is going to the side. So, what I suggest is, pag mineralized, every 3 millimeters na mag-advance yung file, make a radiograph para makita mo kung saan pumupunta. Okay? Huwag pa basta-basta. Okay? Or, you can refer. Imagine if you take tatlong iba't ibang classification, easy, moderate, and severe, depending on the degree of curvature. And how do you know that? Sa radiograph, you first draw a line perpendicular to the long axis of the crown. Hindi ang root ha, kasi ang root ang may curvature. And then after that, you trace the root, and then so that you could determine the angulation. Okay? The same here, so you could determine, lalo na itong isang kanal na to, halos perpendicular sa long axis ng crown, so that is a very straight case, yung isang kanal. Ito namang isa, okay, medyo moderate siya. Okay? This one, severe. Okay? That one. Pero ang isang tooth, pwede magkaroon ng moderate at pwede din magkaroon ng severe curvature. Okay? Ayon, if you just follow the instrumentation, then you definitely are able to instrument this. Okay. Now, for severely curved case, it will always be good to have some sort of knowledge about the anatomy. CBCT is probably a good option for you. Right? Use flexible files, coronal flaring, glide path, all of that, okay, and practice. Ngayon, for narrow and curved canal, okay, you coronal flare, you do this 10 file and the K file, alright? So you are able to address the curvature, okay? Glide path is important. And then here, pwedeng kahit anong preferred rotary file system ninyo. Okay? Now, always remember that when you do your rotary instrumentation, you follow the steps, no shortcuts. Imagine, if you put a 10, tingnan nyo lang kung gaano ka drastic yung pagbabago. If you put a 10 file, and then you put a 15 file, 50% jump na agad yun sa size because 10 minus 15 is 5. 5 is half of 10. So, 50% jump na agad yun sa kapal. So, pag nag-10 ka, nag-20 ka, 100% yun. Okay? The file will have a very hard time to cut and may potentially fracture. Okay? So, gradual dapat. Okay? Sa dami-dami ng file na available sa market, ano ba ang rationale? What file do you want to use? Of course, depende yan sa'yo. You could look at the anatomy of the tooth, so it's more curved. You want a flexible file. Okay? Kung gusto mo ng obturation technique na mas, for example, warm vertical, you need to have some sort of a very good taper. Okay? Also, the cost. Yeah? Costing. Right? This is important also. Now, maraming iba't ibang properties ang file, but lagi natandaan, ito, the manufacturer will determine this, but The bigger the taper, the more stiff the file becomes. At saka the more martensitic the file is, it becomes much more flexible. Okay? Mas heat-treated yung file, mas flexible siya. You will see sa mga examples mamaya. Okay? The more na ang file touches the surface, like this one, 4 surfaces, the more that it is stiffer and the more that it is more difficult to rotate. Okay? So, files that are flat-sided like this, less contact with the tooth surface and more areas for the debris to escape, the better the movement of the file would be. Okay? Ngayon, yung metallurgy nga, austenite to martensite, okay, ito ay manufacturer determined. Basta tanongin mo lang, is this flexible? Is this more martensite? Pag sinabing flexible, imagine martensite siya, so it could really bend like this. The problem is, the more flexible the file, the more it unwinds. Ibig sabihin, kasi yung file, di ba, tinitwist yan when they manufacture it, kaya meron kang flutes. Okay? The more flexible the file, the more that it unwinds pag umikot siya sa kanal. So, kailangan mong tingnan kung nang-unwind na yon kasi it will not cut. Pag nag-unwind, one solution is to heat it up para bumalik siya ulit, mag-rotate ulit. Okay? So, kung hindi mo naman kailangan talaga ng super flexible file, yan, just reserve it for really curved cases. Okay? Like F1 is another file na from one single file system ng Fanta, you will see it tomorrow, that it is AFR or more flexible than AFL. Ngayon, nickel titanium ba or stainless steel? We now know that if you use nickel titanium, it resulted in less procedural errors. So, isa lang ang ginamit niya na file. Okay, bakit isa lang? Kasi hindi na kailangan yung iba. Yeah? So, depende talaga ito sa inyong critical thinking. Yeah, case. Kung ano ang applicable lang sa case mo. Okay? Now, for straightforward cases, okay, the same, glide path is 20. Isang glide path lang kasi malaki and then you use the apical prep, AF blue, for example, alright, 25 and 35, tapos na yung case mo, then obturate. Okay? Narrow canal, straight, okay? You use, of course, C files to increase it much better, increase to negotiate the calcified canal much better, and then you use the CPAP file, and then you use the rotary file of your choice. This time, AF rotary ang ginamit, but if you're using whatever file you use, you can use that. Yeah? Your choice of rotary files. Okay? For curved cases, yeah? Okay, ito nakalagay dito, AF rotary because it has an AFH, very flexible file, and then you still go through AF1, sample lang. Merong speed at torque. Itong makikita mo dyan sa likod ng packaging. At saka kung makikita nyo na dito, okay, merong ano yan, orifice opener at saka ito yung set niya ng files. Tatlo, flexible. Okay, so you have here the coronal flaring. orifice opener, or the fat boy, or the coronal flaring. Okay? Can you irrigate? And then after that, you're done with the coronal flaring. Then you do your apical shaping, but you start first with the number 10. In actual cases, you will use an apex locator and then radiograph to confirm your working length, to determine your final working length. And then now you've got to use your path file to working length. Pwede mo nang gamitin. Irrigate. Alright, and then you use now he's using the AF1 file, 2004. So 20 ang size ng tip, 04 ang taper. 350 RPM and 2.5 ang torque. AF2 to 25, 04 taper. So 20 kanina, 25 ngayon. Okay. Irrigate, hindi siya nag-recapitulate. But you need to do that. And then, usually final 30. Okay. So, at least, yan, ganyan lang naman yan. So, may idea na kayo ngayon, yung pagkakasunod-sunod. Alright? Tomorrow, mas minus 2, and then you check the working length again before you F1, F2, F3. Okay? After glide path na ito ha, S1 to working length. Okay? And then S2, irrigate, recapitulate, irrigate. Okay? And then F1, F2, and then F3. Nakapak na ito, pasunod-sunod na. Yeah? We clean the blades. Ang ginagamit ko dyan is gauze that is wet with alcohol. Okay?
Can you stop at F2? Can you stop at
F2 is at 25.
Sometimes F3,
Yeah, okay. Pag curved, very curved canal, F2 probably will be okay. Right? Irrigation. GP pumping. Put the irrigation and then pump it with gutta percha with all your patience. You would rather do that than put a 30 that is going to be very strained, lalo na pag curve, right? But this one, the finishing file, tapos na to. The finishing file here though is AFH, so it's very flexible. Okay? Pero kasi ang dito road na, alright? Pag curved canals, ano yung size? Ito yung tanong na to finish. Okay? Nakalagay dito, wala talagang size na recommended sa curved canals, although 25 is my biased size. Okay? Also, wala rin sa mga data na makikita ka kung ano ba talaga yung outcome kapag maliit, pag 25 mm or smaller. Walang data. Wala rin results na pwede mong pagbasihan kung ano ang the best size to finish. So, it depends on you. Ito ang ibig sabihin. Alright? So, you want to, of course, avoid these iatrogenic complications arising from the shaping of the canals, right? Loss of working length, deviation from the anatomy, alright? You don't want that. Fractured instrument also. We will discuss more about this. Although, if there's a fractured instrument, you want to the preoperative diagnosis matters a lot when it comes to the outcome, position in the canal. The more coronal it is, the better chances of it to be removed, and amount of instrumentation before fracture. Pag patapos ka na sa canal fracture, probably you will have a better chance of your root canal treatment succeeding. Pag na-fracturean ka ng pinakaunang file na nilagay mo na number 10, huwag ka na mag-root canal. Pinakaunang file na nilagay mo na fracture. Okay? Alright? Ngayon, always remember, files are as good as their user. You have to understand the limitations of your file. Di walang perfect file system. Lahat yan may pros and cons. You need to adjust. Alright? And it's the irrigant that perform the disinfection anyway. And combining different filing techniques is common among endodontists. Ngayon, anong adequate preparation? Ngayon, pag nagkaroon ka ng file, nag-file ka, tingnan mo yung file, always inspect your file after mo gamitin. Pag nakita kang dentin na, okay, maputi naman yung dentin, malinis na tao, that is not a criteria that you have finished your preparation. Dati kasi, dapat resize larger. For example, ang file na kumasya doon sa apex is 25, so 30, 35, 40 ka dapat. That's not true anymore, okay? You don't really need to increase the size of your file that big if you're able to deliver the hypochlorite to your working length. Okay? Next is, one size is not appropriate. Sabi mo sa lahat ng preparation ko, size 30 ako dapat. Hindi. Kasi paiba-iba naman ang size ng anatomy ng canal. Right? And mamaya, yung instruments na nilalagay mo must be pre-fit. Mamaya, ito pa didiscussin natin ito. Okay? Canal must be dry and clean before filling. Ngayon, irrigants disinfect and clean. Kasi according to this paper, yung green is the original anatomy of the canal. Red is the anatomy after instrumentation. Ito ay superimposed image. So kahit na anong klaseng rotary instrument pa ang gamitin ninyo, not all the surfaces are touched by the rotary. Okay? So it's important really for us to irrigate. Okay? It's the irrigation that does the disinfection. What kind of irrigant do we use? Maraming lumabas dyan. Okay? Na dati may MTAD or whatever, but I think you need something that could dissolve the tissue and at the same time has a bactericidal effect, biocompatible, okay? And up to now, hypochlorite pa rin ang ginagamit, okay? Don't mix sodium hypochlorite and chlorhexidine. Dati ginagamit ng chlorhexidine, but because it creates that brown precipitate na hindi natin alam kung ano yan, okay? So now we have limited our irrigant to sodium hypochlorite and EDTA. Alam naman siguro ang function ng EDTA, di ba? We will discuss that also later naman. So you want the irrigant to be able to dissolve organic materials and kill bacteria, remove the smear layer, and liberate growth factors and dissolve the inorganic materials. And EDTA and the combination of EDTA and sodium hypochlorite does this function. Yan nga yung needle, ha? Recommended application is 1 millimeter short of your working length. And according to this micro-CT study, if you stop your preparation to a size 30, right, file, your 30 gauge needle should be able to go to length, right? But what you want to do is 1 millimeter short pa rin. Para kapag may sumobra naman, hindi lalabas ng ngipin. So you put a stopper sa needle. Okay? So hindi siya lumalabas sa ngipin. You don't want the sodium hypochlorite accident, right? Never tightly bound dapat ang file. Okay? It could be a terrible experience. So we'll discuss this later, okay? Now, how would you increase the disinfecting property of your irrigants? Contact time is important, right? Kailangan intimate contact ang irrigant sa canal. Yeah, 30 minutes is my biased personal choice. At the higher the concentration, it will require less contact time. You have to clean directly the apical 1/3 of the tooth, the working length. Okay? You want to dissolve the tissue and have some bactericidal effect and smear layer removal. Okay? Of course, hypochlorite does that. Okay? I use 2.5%. According to study, 5% can damage the dentin, pero is the damage clinically relevant? We don't know. Okay, just limit the contact time if it's very concentrated. Canal should always be wet with sodium hypochlorite during root canal treatment. Now, EDTA is a chelator, or of course, it dissolves the smear layer, and it results in destruction of the dentin if it stays there for longer than 2 minutes. So you have to flush it immediately and dry with paper point after the use of EDTA. Okay? Don't let it linger there for a long time. Ngayon, marami tayong mga irrigation ngayon na activator to distribute the irrigant much more efficiently in the canal. Merong itong pressure activated, ultrasonic activation, passive ultrasonic laser. Pero according to studies, walang pagkakaiba itong lahat sa outcome. Kung pagbabasa natin ng outcome, walang pagkakaiba. So, it's okay even if you use manual activation. Although clinically, you could really see that using ultrasonic and pressure creates a much cleaner looking canal. Okay? Hindi naman natin nakikita yung hanggang dulo, di ba? Right? But manual activation is still okay to use. Okay? So, in order for us to reach yung mga divots, okay, to distribute the... now, one technique that you could use is apical gauging. What is apical gauging? You want to determine the size of the apical constriction and the taper of the apical portion closest to the foramen. What is the purpose of this? Bakit mo gusto malaman ang size ng apical constriction and taper? Because you want to choose the best master cone that closely matches the canal length and taper. Paano ito gagawin? Using your K-file, okay? Kung tumapos ka sa size 20, for example, ipapasok nyo yung size 20 na file. Okay? Pag sumobra ang size 20 like what is shown here, ibig sabihin, umabot ka na sa 20 pero maluwang. Wala kang maramdaman na tagbak. Ibig sabihin, maliit yung 20. Okay? You move to a size 25. Pagdating mo ng 25, for example, half a millimeter short ka, okay, then that's good. 25 ang size mo, but you don't stop there. Pag nilagay mo yung 30, maikli, 25 ang size mo, balik ka sa 25. Pag nilagay mo yung 30, umabot sa length na target mo, 30 ka. Pupunta ka po na naman sa 35. Pag ang 35 maikli, babalik ka sa 30, that's your size. Get it? Ganun siya. Ngayon, pag 30 ang size mo, most likely, the gutta percha that you're going to use is 30. Okay? Now, may dalawang klase ng tagback, true and false. True tagback is the tagback is at the apical third, not on the walls here, in the middle or coronal third. Kasi merong false tagback na dito. Paano mo malalaman kung false or true? You could look at the master cone. Pag nakita mo na merong ang scratches ay nasa apical part, nasa apical tagback. Kasi gagalaw-galawin mo yun eh. Pag dito sa gitna, wala doon, then dito ang tagback. Don't use it because mamaya we will show you that you need to cut the master cone and plug it, pack it. Pag dito malawang, poof, lalabas yung gutta percha. Okay? Now, for endodontic shaping, flexible files offer more fatigue resistance, irrigants flow 1 mm per on the tip of the needle, apical size of 30 or 35 permit irrigation. Right? So, challenges with cleaning and shaping are, of course, anatomical complexity, tooth position. Okay? This can directly affect disinfection, debridement, prognosis. Okay? And this could be addressed with practice. Kaya nga nandito tayo to increase your skills. Alright? Next is obturation. Okay? Siguro mag-break muna tayo, right? Yeah.
And being thermosoftened. The heat is kept on as the carrier is pressed further and further into the gutta percha mass. As the carrier moves apically, gutta percha is forced laterally into canal irregularities. Deep in the canal space, the heat is cycled off. Downward pressure is kept on the cooling carrier. This continued pressure, in turn, exerts pressure on the gutta percha, forcing it into more lateral canals and anastomoses. After several seconds, and when the carrier has reached its ultimate depth, a second, 1 second burst of heat is applied. 1 second later, as the carrier begins cooling, it is rocked side to side in the canal space. This motion separates the gutta percha mass into a segment apical to the heat carrier tip and a segment coronal to the tip. The carrier is then removed from the canal space. The apical portion of the separated gutta percha mass remains in the canal space. The rest of the gutta percha comes out of the canal space with the carrier. A small pre-fit plugger is inserted into the canal space and used to tamp down the apical plug of gutta percha. The plugger is removed in the final step of the continuous wave technique, leaving the apical plug and the remaining space ready for backfilling.
Alright, kung maglalagay kayo ng